right, here we are talking about tendinopathy and what to do about it. First thing I want to talk about is posterior tibialis tendinopathy, which is what you have going on right now. Posterior tibial muscle and its tendon, they run along the inside of the leg here, the lower leg. This bone right here is called the medial malleolus, and that tendon runs behind that malleolus and attaches to the some bones down here in the foot. It's a pretty long tendon. There's lots of stresses placed on that tendon, especially with the high impacts of running. A good thing to understand the anatomy and the biomechanics of running as it relates to that tendon and the muscle. When you hit your foot on the ground in the initial stance phase, so you're loading that foot, you get some dorsiflexion, which is like the bending forward of the ankle like that, and that foot gets loaded with a lot of force, up to 8 times body weight. And what the foot wants to do is it wants to pronate, kind of flatten out and absorb those forces against the ground that you're running on. And especially if you're on trails, those forces can be really significant, and the movement of the foot can be significant. That initial stance phase, the posterior tibialis muscle and its tendon are going to attach to our arch of our foot. So as we start to flatten out our foot, the tendon and the muscle have to contract eccentrically, which means the muscle and tendon are contracting and lengthening, which is it's a large force, especially with those impacts. The next phase of running is going to be the push off, where you kind of go up onto your toe to push off. In that case, the muscle is going to and the tendon are going to contract concentrically, meaning they're going to shorten. As that foot comes up, that shortening is going to create more of a rigid foot, so you have something to push off of.
Okay. So just for me to understand it, I can walk at a brisk pace. There's no pain. But if I start that running movement, that's when I feel right through here a lot of tension and soreness. Does that make sense then? Because I'm not loading it as much or putting that intensity when walking, but running, there's so much more force.
Yeah, it's just
why one.
Yeah, it's a higher speed movement than walking, and then, like I said, those forces are much greater on the tendon. What we need from the tendon is stiffness, and stiffness is not something that you feel necessarily. It's more about how the tendon, what it needs to be to absorb those forces. It needs to be more stiff and stronger, I guess, is a good. Stiffness equals strength for tendons.
So what would you recommend I could be doing to heal, but also strengthen my body so I don't have this chronic issue?
So pain is a good topic to touch on first. Pain is something that's individual for everybody. Like my pain tolerance might be a 3 out of 10 for when I'm running, whereas your tolerance might be 5 out of 10. So it's very individualized. What you want to do with rehabilitating a tendon is you do want pain to be your guide. And what I mean by that is, say, for example, an acceptable level of pain to you, something you can tolerate when you're running, is 5 out of 10, say, for example. And maybe even during exercises to try to rehabilitate this tendon, you might say that you're at a 5 out of 10. Okay. That's acceptable for you. What you want to focus on, though, is, do you have pain during the exercise? And is it tolerable? The next thing is, do you have pain after the exercise? Because sometimes when we exercise, especially initially, when we're exercising, it can actually feel better. It can make that tendon feel better. But then the question to ask is, after I do the exercise, maybe an hour or two later or later that day, does that increase my pain above 5? Okay. And maybe you don't have any pain later that day. But then the next day, when you go to repeat these exercises again, or the day after, when you go to do those exercises again, now you're up to like a 6 or 7 out of 10.
Okay.
That would be more significant. That would be something that I would say means that you need reduce the load.
Okay.
So that might be doing less repetitions, or it might be less resistance.
Yeah, I was making the assumption that I shouldn't try running until there was zero pain associated with running, but you think a little bit of pain is okay.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait for that no pain.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's a concept in research for tendinopathy that you're going to have fluctuations in your pain and your ability to run, in your example. But we want those fluctuations to gradually be moving up the scale instead of spiraling down. We want to spiral up. So meaning, like, say one day you are able to run 1 mile at 5 out of 10 pain. But then a week or two later, you're able to run 3 miles at 5 out of 10 pain. Well, that's progress. It's the same amount of pain, but now you've tripled your mileage. So that's how we want to kind of think about the rehab process. And I think pain is going to be part of that. And it's acceptable. And whatever's acceptable to you.
Okay.
Also, I think tendinopathy is something that it can be difficult it's not easy to rehabilitate because tendons don't have a great blood supply compared to the muscles. So they're a little bit slower to heal in general than, say, if you had a muscle strain, that could heal a lot faster than a tendon injury.
Okay.
So if you've ramped up your volume intensity recently, then that might have contributed to your.
I think it was from speed sessions. It was new to me to have speed work, and maybe my body just wasn't adapting like I wanted it to. And I feel I've been told by massage therapists and physical therapists in the past that I have a very high pain tolerance. I don't realize I have a stress fracture or something like that. So then when something starts hurting, I get nervous because I'm like, well, how far past when I should have stopped am I now?
Right.
So.
Right. Let me I do have some notes here. Make sure I touch on everything. There are some studies that have suggested that people who run with a more narrow stance develop these posterior tibialis tendinopathies more frequently. So that's just something to be aware of. And there was a study I read about that it suggested that during the rehab process, if a person ran with a little bit wider.
I'm running on railroad track. As I read.
Yeah. And then the other thing was shoe inserts.
Okay.
Temporarily.
So I have a high arch. Do you think I should get arch support in
my
shoes?
If you had a shoe, I wouldn't recommend going out and necessarily getting custom orthotics or anything like that. But because hopefully it'll just be temporary.
Okay.
And but maybe if you have a shoe insert that has a little bit higher arch, it might take some of that strain. So there's stages of rehab.
Okay.
And we talked about this before, I think, about like isometrics. If somebody has an injury, it could be a tendon injury, it could be a muscle injury, a strain or something like that. The safest thing to do right off the bat is isometric contractions.
So what would be an isometric contraction for this?
Yeah. So it would be like where you might do like a single leg. So you would use, say the right leg was your bad leg.
Okay.
So you would hold on to something and you'd come up on your good leg like that. And then you'd put that foot down. And then you're going to shift your weight onto it. Like that.
Okay.
And then you're just going to hold it in that position.
Okay.
That's an isometric contraction. So I'm not moving up and down. I'm just holding it in a locked position.
So like an isometric single leg calf raise.
Yeah. And then you could add weight like a dumbbell and gradually build up your tolerance. And
I had been doing that, but then it felt like the pain was getting worse. But now I've learned from you that I just need to dial it back. Maybe not every day then.
Yeah. And it depends.
Long.
The other thing is too, if I get in that position, so I'm at my full plantar flexion right now. That's as far as I can go. If that bothers me, I might just lower it a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe not go to the end range, maybe go halfway, and then see if I can tolerate that for 30 to 60 seconds.
Because it wasn't hurting during when I was doing it, but it was the next day. So just taking that into consideration makes sense now that you've said that I need to see if the pain's getting worse.
And isometrics are a good warm-up.
Okay.
And I do those like when I'm just doing my regular workout.
Okay.
I'll do some isometrics to kind of warm up.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's something you can incorporate.
So I have a slant board at home. So would that be like I was doing an isometric on there where I'd put it up like that and hold it on the slant board? Is that good or?
Yeah. So something
the opposite of the calf raise, though.
Yeah, something like that.
Just like that.
You might take like a wedge or slant board like this, and then then you're going to be doing a deficit.
Yeah.
So what
but
you would
both
do,
are good for that.
Yeah. So if you were going to go through like a concentric motion, you're going through a greater range because you're on that slant. Does that make sense?
Oh, so you would want to do a calf raise on it still. You won't want to.
As opposed to this.
Okay.
Now I might be able to do 25 reps on a single leg like that.
Yeah.
But if I want to like increase the intensity, I could get onto something like this. Okay. Now I'm going through a greater range of motion.
But you don't think just standing on the slant board is what I need to do? That's not going to be benefiting that area?
It'll benefit. Yeah, it'll benefit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do those.
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, yes. Like I just start, before I was running each day, I was just going on this for like 30 seconds at a time and just.
Oh, you're stretching.
Stretching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if that was helpful or not.
Yeah, stretching.
Okay. I want to make sure everything I'm doing is productive, not counterproductive.
Yeah.
I was doing that, and then I was told to put like something between my legs. I use like a rubber ball.
Oh, a ball between.
Be like up on your tiptoes, holding it for like 30 seconds.
And that's the same. You're going to be by squeezing your heels together as
like
you come up.
Little ball holding it there.
Yeah, that's good. To do. Yeah.
So keep doing that. Go back to those.
Yeah, because you're going to be turning on those muscles a little bit more, focusing on the posterior tibialis muscle. Yeah, that's good to do.
Okay.
Good.
I just got so scared of the pain that I stopped doing everything.
Pain, yeah. The other thing is, so isometrics combined with heavy, slow resistance.
Okay.
Is kind of the next phase. But these can all be combined together. You can do them at the same time.
Okay.
You don't have to just do isometrics for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And do nothing else.
Okay.
You can incorporate everything at the same time. So you might do some heavy, slow resistance. Okay. So you might start off with the isometric, and that's going to help you warm up and prepare you for the slow, heavy workout. And that's going to be something where, like we talked about, you might start on the floor, just doing you could do double leg, and then the progression would be the single leg, and the progression from that would be on a slant like that. And what you would want to do is about 3 seconds up and then 3 seconds down.
Okay.
So it'd be like 2, 3, and then down 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then the slow nature of it is going to be.
And how many of those would be a good starting point? So I don't.
Yeah, I would say like maybe 8 to 15 repetitions, 3 sets.
Okay.
3 times a week.
Okay.
Would be a good start. But that's going to be the reason we want to do it slowly is because that's safer. Okay. Right in the beginning.
The isometrics every other day as well, or is that something you should do every day?
Yeah, I would do it when you do these exercises, the slow, heavy. Do your isometrics to warm up before.
I want to do exactly what I'm supposed to, so the next time we film, I can come back and be like, "It worked."
Yeah, and it's good. You can, you can change things up too a little bit too. Okay. Don't feel like it's just you can only do this.
Okay.
And you can't make adjustments.
And you were going to show something with a band, but is that more advanced that I shouldn't do yet? Or is that something I could start incorporating?
Yeah, the band is something you can start incorporating right away. And the reason this is different is because we're going to do it in a non-weight bearing fashion. So one of the things to do is to, actually I can show it on you. Okay. So we would start you off a band right there, and then you would like say attach it.
Tie it onto something.
Tie it onto something like that. Yep, you're doing it right. You're plantar flexing, and then you're pushing that foot that way. You're adducting.
Does that hurt?
And that's going to turn
on.
Not
the right foot, but this is the internal one.
Yeah, but that's going to turn on that muscle.
Okay.
And you might even feel like some people would describe that.
Do you do it sitting, or should I be standing? Does it matter?
Yeah, sitting's good.
Okay.
Yeah. And some people say that they start to feel a little cramping.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's working things, so I could see. I'm going to try this one. Yeah. Doesn't hurt. I'm just curious if it will hurt. Yes, it readjust. Recalculating.
Yeah. All right. So plantar flex.
Okay. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't feel any different from the other side. So that's good.
Yeah, there you go.
It's getting the right.
Keep it plantar flex. Yep. There you go.
Makes things tremble though.
It's working good. Yeah, try it.
Just make.
You have something to leverage off of.
I was just feeling really good. It was working my inner thighs too.
So you got isometrics, and then the heavy, slow resistance. Okay. The next thing you have to incorporate, and it's essential if you're wanting to return to sport.
Okay.
And that's going to be